so quiet this morning? Are y'all ready for me to come read?
Yeah.
I am Will's grandmother. I am. But today, what am I? I'm a grandma pirate. I'm a lady pirate. So I'm gonna say, good morning, mateys. What's something else a pirate says? Arr. But you got to do the hand motion with it, right? Arr. Come on, go do it. Do it. Come on, get it. Good morning. Arr. Come on, get that hook up high. How are y'all doing today?
Good.
Y'all recognize me?
Yes. You're the witch.
I am. Pretty smart kid right there. Well, where do y'all want me to get to read?
Wherever.
Where it doesn't matter?
Yeah, you had one of those on the Christmas one.
What?
When you came here and read us one those on gingerbread pirates. No, that was somebody else.
Well, maybe y'all have to talk about that when I'm not here. I do come a lot and read, and I may be confused when I came to read, but I'm not sure about reading gingerbread. But I did come sometime when you're talking about, but we won't go there and talk about that, okay? But I did come and read as a witch, didn't I? Good morning, John David. How are you today?
You got more of that.
Have I got what? Right in here? I'll tell you when I get through reading. That's some of my secret stuff right there.
You got a sword. I like that.
Well, a pirate's got to defend himself.
No,
I got to defend myself. I'm a pirate.
Oh, we're children. We're gentle.
Where's what?
Oh, we're children. We're gentle.
What did he say? What did he? I want to know what he said. What did he say?
We're children. We're gentle.
Well, that's gentle too. That's play. You want to feel it? Huh? Tap it. See? It's not going to hurt you. But I'm pretending it's real. Y'all know about pretend, don't you? You do it every Halloween. And when you get in your dress up clothes at home, okay? Just because I'm 60 doesn't mean I can't still pretend.
You're 60.
Right?
That's all we know.
I'm a grandmother, and I'm still pretending. As old teachers never try. No, I wasn't. That's why I'm a little late this morning, because I had to get all this stuff put on this morning.
Where's your shield?
Where's my shield?
Yeah, where are the pirates?
Well, I came in my car. I'm a retired pirate.
Oh.
Okay? I don't work. I don't steal anymore. I don't plunder. What's some of the pirate words? Don't plunder. Okay, some of y'all have been with me when I've read this book, and I want you to help me at certain times in the book, and you'll know when, okay? I'm going to read Pirate Pete's Talk Like a Pirate, okay? And he's trying to get some people to help him on his boat talk like a pirate. And so I'm going to be using pirate words, okay? And I want y'all to help me. Well, you'll see there's one little part I want y'all to help me with, okay? And this is about Pirate Pete. Pirate Pete, okay? Look at Pirate Pete. He's thinking there. He's got his... He's a pirate, but he also has his parrots. And when I read this book, I get a little tongue-tied because you've got the word pirate and you've got the word parrot, okay? Pirate Pete had the most amazing ship ever to sail the high seas. But he needed a crew. He didn't have a crew. Not any old crew would do, however. He needs me a pirate crew. Pete told his parrot, and I know just where to find one. We're sailing to Rascal Island. To Rascal Island we go, cried the bird. So they're headed to Rascal Island to get them a few rascals to be the crew on the boat.
Where's your pirate?
Look right here. Pete spun the wheel toward the Sea of Mischief, and soon his speedy ship had reached Rascal Island. Do y'all see it?
That looks like a
Kind of a crazy place, a circus, doesn't it?
wait, where's
Pete
your parents?
dropped anchor in the bay, and then he hung a sign across the ship's bow. Buccaneers wanted. That's what he's calling his crew, Buccaneers wanted. Before long, a boat filled with rascals rowed up to the ship. Pete rubbed his hands in glee. They were the dirtiest, most ridiculous, mischievous, sneakiest looking scallywags and scurvy dogs he'd ever laid eyes on. He was going to definitely get him a crew from this.
That was your parents.
Okay.
Do you know the pirates we were talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I have a rock in one of my pair of gloves, and it looks just like it looks just like it.
Looks just like what? Pete?
No, it's
The bird, the pirate, the parrot.
yeah.
Well, you need to save that. Sometimes you do find rocks that have certain shapes.
No, it looks just like a parrot's head.
A parrot's head. One by one, the rascals climbed aboard the ship. Listen up, mateys, announced the parrot. If you wants to sail with Pete, you've got to prove you got what it takes. Wonder what it is that they got to have. Pete nodded and declared, you needs a peg leg and an old eye patch. Lots of them wear eye patches. You need a fierce-looking hook and a beard you can scratch. Can you scratch a beard?
Mama,
You got to load a cannon and you got to know how to fire it. But most of all, you got to talk like a pirate. Well, let's see. So that's a funny looking crew right there.
they look goofy. Where's your parents?
A rascal stepped forward. He loaded the cannon and he fired it. Nice firing, said Pete. And I see you got a peg leg, a hook, and an old eye patch. And that beard of yours, does it hanker for scratching? Let's see what he says. It is quite itchy, answered the man, especially during the summer when the weather tends to be sultry. Did he talk like a pirate?
No.
No. Blow me down, bellowed Pete. You don't talk like a pirate. So, walk the plank. As the man splashed overboard, Pete hollered, you should have said, when the sun's a-blazing, me beard gets the itches, worse than a bucket of sand down me britches. Next, ordered the parrot. Tell me something about what he was talking right there. His words. What did his words do?
Sound like a pirate.
What did his words do?
They didn't sound like the pirate. They didn't
No,
sound
the pirate words right here. When the sun's a-blazing, me beard gets the itches, worse than a bucket of sand down me britches.
They rhyme.
They rhyme, thank you. You got to know about rhyming words when you take that old Common Core test, remember? Everything we do is about learning, so rhyming words. And it's not very good English anyway, the way he's talking. Next, ordered the parrot. Uh-oh, look who steps up. Let's see about her.
That's you.
Pete squinted at the rest of the rascals and said, you got to be stubborn and mighty cranky. You got to be dirty and awfully stanky. You got to load a cannon and know how to fire it, but most of all, you got to talk like a pirate. A rascal stepped forward and loaded the cannon and fired it. Nice firing, said Pete. And I see that you're plenty dirty and stanky. But is you stubborn and cranky? Oh, indeed, replied the rascal. Sometimes I'm very irritable, especially when I don't eat my breakfast. Shiver me timbers, shouted Pete. You don't talk like a pirate, so walk the plank. There she goes. She walked the plank.
Pinball.
As the rascal went overboard, Pete cried, "You should have said, I's as mean as a shark that's stuck in a tub when I'm not scarfed me morning grub." Next, squawked the parrot. Let's see who comes up next. Uh-oh. I kind of like this one. Lots of jewels. Lots of jewels. Pete glared at the rascals and said, "You gots to love treasure. Why, it's your duty to plunder ship and shore for gleaming bounty. You gots to load a cannon and know how to fire it, but most of all, you gots to talk
Like a pirate.
A rascal stepped forward, loaded the cannon, and fired it. "Nice firing," said Pete. "And judging by the gold and rubies you're flaunting, I reckon you've done some plundering in your day." What's plundering? Stealing. I bet he's plundered. You see all the jewels he has on? "That is correct," said the rascal. "I've misappropriated a number of fine jewels without permission."
He didn't talk like a
No,
pirate.
he did.
He's gonna take all the jewels.
"Blimey," cried Pete, "you don't talk like a pirate, so
Walk the plank.
He's tiptoeing off that plank, isn't he? Like a plie. As the rascal leaped overboard, Pete shouted, "You should have said, I've pilfered loot on land and sea, and no man says has ever stopped me." "Next," shouted the parrot. Let's see who comes next.
That is a pirate. That is a pirate. That is a pirate.
I believe so. That's got to be him.
It's
He looks
gotta
the
be.
closest, doesn't he?
Yep.
Yep. Pete shook his head. He had finally lost his patience. He curled up his lip at the last rascal and declared, "You got to trim the sails and mind the deck. You's got to be brave in case of a shipwreck. You got to load a cannon and know how to fire it. But most of all, you got to
Talk like a
pirate." The rascal walked forward. He loaded the cannon and fired it pretty good. "Nice firing," said Pete, "but is you brave? 'Cause no lily-livered seafarer is going to sail with me. I can assure you that I am extremely courageous."
Nope.
Said the rascal. "I will conduct myself with valor at all times." What's valor?
Like protection.
Very close, kind of like bravery. Valor, bravery.
It's more like a pirate.
"Confound it," shouted Pete, stomping his foot. "You don't talk like a pirate, so
Walk the plank.
I surely would have thought he would have been the one.
Yeah, you have a sword and
Everything, didn't he?
this is kicked him off the plane.
He kicked him off the plank, that's right.
This is because you don't have no.
As the rascal dropped overboard, Pete yelled, "You should have said, I'm not a yellow-bellied bone from my head to my toes. I'll stand brave upon the ship wherever she goes." And look, they're all there in the water. They've been kicked off the ship.
There's only 4 of them.
Well, then that one.
This is because he don't have no.
Can you believe it? Pete moaned to his parrot. "Out of all them rascals, not one was fit for me a crew." "'Tis true," squawked the bird. "By the powers, they's no more than a bunch of squiffies and sprogs. None of them fit to go a swashbuckling and plundering for pieces of 8 upon the briny blue on this here vessel." What did he just do? What did he just do?
He didn't talk like a pirate.
He did talk like a pirate. Did you hear what he said? Swashbuckling and plundering, briny blue on this here vessel.
He's fixing to get kicked off the boat.
Oh, he did talk like a pirate.
He did?
He did. He said squiffies and sprogs and swashbuckling and plundering on this here vessel. So what's going to happen?
He ain't gonna get kicked off.
Give me a high five in there. He's not going to get kicked off.
He's gonna be in bed.
Pete blinked. "Why, you talk just like a pirate," he cheered to the bird. "You're all the crew I need. Let's weigh anchor. He had his crew the whole time with him. His
Parrot.
parrots. So off they sailed. All, said the parrot, and off they sailed. Back to the high seas went Pete and his bird. A pirate always gets the last word. They looked for a crew so they could hire it, but blimey, none could talk like a
Pirate.
So, the
And.
And you know one of my favorite pages in this book is this right here. I do like the pictures in the book, but this right here is a bunch of pirate words. Alright, let's see. You've got Polly want a cracker, blow me down, arr, arr, arr. Bury your treasure, yo ho ho, swashbuckler, walk in the plank, hoist the sail, lift up the mugs and give you a cheer, scurvy skull, plunder ship, shore, but my favorite is arr. So everybody put their hook up. Arr. And give me your best arr. Arr.